My Kids and Maniacs, we back. So, as I thought, Boston would win the game. They also only scored 200 points, so another under in the Boston Sixers series. Now look, now peep game. And Harden were going to be an issue. I thought it could be Tatum, but more likely it would be on the 76ers. Now, y'all MVP did not show up. See, that's why I like Joker. Joker's still in this, and Joker's still doing his thing. Y'all MVP, who I told y'all is injury prone and overweight, and the Sixers can actually win without him. They won games without Embiid, whereas Denver can't win without Joker. But nevertheless, Embiid won MVP. Congratulations on that. But he did not show up for this Game 7 like Tatum did. I don't know. Doc Rivers' job is in question now. Harden's career is in question now. Embiid knows he didn't show up. So it'd be interesting to see how he does next season. He had a great season this year, his best year yet. Doc Rivers continues to struggle in the playoffs. Another L on his record. He has the most losses in NBA playoff history as a coach. And AD is soft. You thought AD was soft. AD is soft. I mean, what changed because we're winning? He's still soft. But yeah, man, Doc Rivers' job is in question. I'm not saying he should lose his job, but I am saying it wasn't a great move for the Clippers or the Sixers to hire him as coach at the particular times that they hired him. And I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this. Last time I went out on a limb, I was embarrassed. I felt stupid. So I'm gonna go out on a limb again today with another underdog, a crazy pick of mine. I got Miami Heat still in Game 1 in Boston. I don't know if I should tell you why or not. But I don't think Boston is going to have that same energy Game 1 in Boston. What up, Kev? Now, Rivers overrated? I've been saying that for years. You got to go back and look. I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that when the Clippers hired him before his first game as a Clipper. So you count the years on your fingers, homie, and figure that out. I've been saying that. That ain't nothing new, homie. Come on, man. I've been saying that. When I had Keith Kloss on, I asked Keith Kloss about Doc Rivers. He said he was a great coach. Oh, okay. You were just saying, all right, my bad. You know, I thought you was taking a shot at me, but yeah. I mean, you got to think, look at it like this. You got Maxey playing his ass off. You got the MVP of the season. And you got Harden, and you still can't win. Who are you going to win with? You can't win with none of the players besides Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, and the supporting cast. I think Horford, a few other players, which are all Hall of Famers. You can't win without Hall of Famers. I don't know, man. I don't know about that, but I got I got the Miami Heat going out on the limb as underdogs on the road, upsetting the Boston Celtics Game 1. So what's up, Jerome Wallace? While you talking, I told you the Lakers was going to get blown out Game 5 in the Bay Area. So I hope you listened for once and didn't put your money on the Lakers in Game 5. Your coached pretty good Game 6. So, gotta give you that. Your coach did well Game 6. I hope you got some bread off of that. But see, that 76er Boston game, I don't know why people took the over on that. That wasn't the type of matchup you take overs on. Celtics outplayed them. But check this out. And you know this ain't being biased because I don't have a dog in that race and was rooting against both teams, basically. But The 76ers got all the calls, man. The referees was pro 76er today. And I thought that was outrageous. I thought that was bad. That was bad officiating. I hope none of those refs today make it to the finals to referee the finals. Hope none of them go to the Laker Nuggets series either. That was some horrible officiating. But nonetheless, Boston still put it out. At home, crowd was on fire. Tatum was on fire, going crazy. For a minute, I thought they might get some injuries on the Celtics because they up 28, 29 points and you still got your starters in. I didn't understand that, but then I do understand because it's Game 7 at home. Coach he didn't want to blow that lead. He would have been a laughing stock and lost his job had the Celtics blew that lead. But I thought he could have did a better job at taking his players out one at a time. But nevertheless, shout out to Boston Celtics and the Celtic fans. Good series, way to show up, Game 7. And I am reminded that this series wasn't too big for Jason Tatum because it's not the conference finals. This was not the conference finals. So I shouldn't even have been talking about Tatum possibly choking yet. I got ahead of myself. The next series is the one where he may possibly disappear when it's time for Game 6 or 7. But even he admitted he disappeared last game for the first half. Not the entire game, but the first half. He admitted, he fessed up to that. So ain't no hating unless y'all saying Tatum is hating on himself. But yeah, man, I can't wait till the Lakers play, though. I'm excited about watching the Lakers play. And happy Mother's Day once again to all the mothers out there. I know y'all ain't watching KM live streams on Mother's Day. But if you are, happy Mother's Day. Shout out to you, especially you hard workers and you good mothers. And the mothers that decided to raise their kids with a father in the home. All right. But where y'all at, though, man? What y'all want to talk about? I know y'all tired of talking basketball. This is the playoffs. The playoffs. Kev, bet Game 1 with Boston and Miami. I got Boston, but Miami to win the series in 6 or 7. Well, look, bro. If Boston's going to win in 6, Boston got to win at home. Miami got to win on the road. So, if Miami's going to win on the road, you would think they're going to win Game 1. Because if they lose Game 1, now you're saying they're going to win Game 2, and then when they come back to Boston, I don't think so. That's a tall task. Boston got home court advantage. Boston is going to do their thing in Boston over a 7-game span. 4 games in Boston. I do not have Boston losing in those 6 at all, period. But shout out to you. No, I'm not going to bet you because, like I said, this is just a wild flip of the coin pick. I'm picking it for my own personal reasons. I've been wrong before. I was wrong on that Timberwolves Nuggets series, right? First game. But I'm going to do it again. I like this underdog on the road, Game 1. I'm not saying Miami is better. I'm not like you. I'm not saying Miami going to win the series. I am predicting a major upset Game 1 in Boston. Boston just feeling themselves too much. They gloating. Tatum's acting a fool. Brown was hot. You know what I mean? I don't know. Who is that? Nebulation? Is that how you say that? Good looking out for the super chat. Appreciate you. Lakers versus Miami bubble rematch. Speaking of bubble rematches, Miami-Boston is a bubble rematch, right? Maybe Tatum remembers choking. Maybe he gets his get back. I don't know. Talk about Big U. What you want to talk about Big U, man? Well, what do you want to know or hear about Big U? Big U is the homeboy from the hood and very recognizable name and face. Very versatile individual. Did a lot of time in prison, came home, and has been looking forward ever since. Son just made it to the league. A couple other guys he coached made it to the league. Family man, community man, giving out toys every year, toy drives, school drives, even football drives for the kids. I don't know what's up with Brick Baby. I don't talk to Brick Baby. You might want to catch Brick Baby on his channel, his Instagram, or one of these sites where you do interviews and ask him what's up. Because I don't know. Anything else? I mean, I'm here. Y'all got me. Better catch me before I go to work, man. You know, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to talk. Let's go Lakers. I'm with that. Shout out to Shanique Warren, Southside Compton. A couple of Warrior fans, you know. What happened to Ja Morant? I still don't know what happened to Ja Morant. KP Video News, man. It's only a matter of time for you start hating on AD, LeBron, Russell. Who else you be hating on, man? I ain't been on in a little bit, but where's OGQ? OGQ is just working. Basically got a dog kennel and riding motorcycles and doing his thing, being safe and enjoying his freedom, going to work every 5-6 days a week or whatever. But he calls me every day, but today, I ain't heard from Q yet today. Might be his off day, might be sleeping in. I don't know. Maybe he's cleaning his hog off. I don't know. Ja Morant suffering from wannabe syndrome. That's cold though, man. I hope that ain't what he's suffering from. How you feel about Cowboy? I think the Dallas Cowboys have a great shot at coming in second in their division this year. When you gonna give another interview to OG Cutes? That's funny because I told Cutes, man. I told Cutes when I'm back up and rolling, I'll come through and interview him. So kind of ironic you asked that question. I got it probably August or September, maybe. What is the next story video? The next one is on Still Bill. Still Bill was, I guess, like a player. He comes out the 60s. Started banging when he was 14 years old. Became a jewelry store robber, a bank robber. Went to prison, got hooked up, became a Vanguard. Put in major work in prison. I may not talk about that. Might hurt some feelings. He put in major work in prison. Got out, robbed 18 banks, and went right back. Same year, went right back to the feds. Spent about 46 or so years of his life in prison. Got out, and he passed. That's the next story. I don't have no interviews lined up. I don't have no other stories lined up, but I do have a Van Ness boy in mind that I may profile after that. I may get to that when I got time. Ja Morant got caught with, I know they told me that on the live earlier. If you missed the live earlier, a few people told me that. I haven't seen it on TV or Instagram or none of that. I just haven't been scrolling through my phone or TV. I did catch pre-fights yesterday, and I caught the Boston Celtics game today. And I plan on watching this Cardinals-Boston Red Sox game next, before I go to work. You still going to do that interview with the 90s with the Twins? Yeah. I mean, I don't have no date set up or nothing like that, but yeah. They wanted me to do it at the funeral, at Twan's funeral, but I felt like that wasn't the right place. It felt like it was a lot of noise and would probably be a lot of interruptions. People crowding around saying what they got to say. So I didn't want to do it there. I didn't feel like it was the right setting. Nuggets versus who? Sixers. Nuggets and 6. All right. Ja got some fake friends. Ja needs some real friends, man. What kind of work do you do? I drive Uber Eats, man. I deliver food to ungrateful, untipping Americans. You don't remember back when cartoon first came on live, and he was talking about he got a job or something, and I congratulated him and said, well, you know what? I got a job too. It ain't my first job, but it's driving Uber Eats. Gotta pay the bills, man. Shit, you know what I'm saying? You wanna have a nice place to stay and drive a nice or decent car. Shit, you gotta pay for that shit, man. We ain't out here selling crack and robbing banks no more, so they gotta get it how he can get it. Right? Let's see what he said. Ungrateful. McDonald heads. Man, anything here. They order the craziest of things, man. Now they allow people to order from Walgreens and Vons and all that. More ungrateful. You want somebody to go shop for you? You want somebody to go shop for you and drive 7-8 miles? And you give them $1.43 or $2.50? Man, get your ass out your bed, get in your car, you go to the store, you do the shopping, you wait in line, and drive back home yourself for that little amount. CJ, what up? Kev, you heard from Miz lately? How is he? I haven't heard from Miz in about probably 4 weeks. Miz doing all right. He got another radio show. He get about an hour. I don't know if it's an hour a week or 2 hours a week, something like that. I'm trying to tell you, no tip, no trip. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, man. You know, I was talking to my homeboy Peanut, right? I always bring Peanut up because he's a good homie that I respect. And we had these deep conversations that I don't have with nobody else. So he was saying how now he goes to a lot of joints. You know, he's like a vegan. He eats real healthy. He don't eat bad food. So OG Q's trying to call. Speak of the devil. Q's, if you're watching, shout out to you, bro, but I'm live. So you're probably not watching. Blowing me up now. 2 times is a blow up when you call back to back. But we was talking, and he goes to these establishments, and they have these tip jars out there now. You can even go to like a Mexican fast food restaurant or some Taco Bells and stuff like that. They have a tip jar now for people to leave tips, and they're actually tipping. They're tipping somebody that's just taking their. It's just common practice. So you take my order here, I'm gonna tip you. And like even at Teriyaki Madness, you pay with your credit card and they ask you about a tip on the screen and how you sign it and all that. Well, I'm saying if people gonna tip, I mean, you do what you want with your money, and if you're a worker, you accept whatever you can get. But you compare that to a person that has to drive miles on their car. You don't get paid for gas. You don't get paid for wear and tear on your car. And you want me to drive 4, 5, 6, 7 miles to pick up your food. Then your food might not be ready. So now I'm waiting 12, 13 minutes for your food. It may be hot in there, it may be crowded in there, the food may stink in there, maybe somebody rude in there. And I'm out of my car waiting. Now I got to get back in the car, right? I done got in and out the car with a backpack, but can't use back as an excuse. Then I drive to you. Then you hit me and say you want ranch, you want barbecue. So you should have put that in your order. Like, I'm not here to order your food too. I'm here to pick up your food and deliver it. So now I get back in the car. Now I got to put a gate code into getting to your complex. And you may have gave me the wrong gate code because it's been upgraded, or you may have forgot to give me a gate code. Now I got to sit outside your gate 5, 6, 7 minutes. Now you're holding up somebody else's delivery or other people that want food. And then you might live on the 3rd or 4th floor So now I got to find a place to park, because usually no parking in some place. Now I got to walk up 3 or 4 flights of stairs for $1.50 or $2.50. Man, you crazy as hell. You better get up out your bed, as I said before, take your ass to pick up your own food. And to be honest with you, like, I've never tampered with nobody's food. I don't play with nobody's food. I'm not going to open. I'm not going to eat a French fry. I'm not going to take a pepperoni off a pizza. I ain't going to do none of that. I ain't going to take a sip of your soda. None of that. You better be hopeful and grateful that you don't get somebody that's going to play in your food or drink your soda or spit in your soda. You got to be grateful and hopeful with that, because there's people out here that's really getting an attitude that they out here trying to survive, trying their best to survive, actually out there trying to work and not being appreciated. And I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking as a person that has talked to other drivers. I hear their complaints. I see them upset. I see them upset when they go into some restaurant. I'll be like, man, calm down. They be like, man, I'm tired of running around. These people, they don't chill. I mean, that's part of the job. But now Uber's made it to where you can decline calls. Now, you don't have to accept these calls. Now, if you see $1 or $2, you could just decline and say, I'm not picking that up. Now it's on you as a driver if you want to make that delivery and go through all that. Me, myself, I'm like, nigga, I'm out here spending an hour on one order, or maybe 38 minutes to an hour on one order, and you're not tipping. Fool, I'm wasting my time. You got to be kidding me. You're not going to help with my tune-up, my changing the brakes, oil, spark plugs, none of that old stuff. Uber don't pay. Uber don't pay like that. Y'all niggas crazy. You basically working for tips. Uber came up with a master plan when they came out with Uber. Look, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to predict that there's some entrepreneur, somebody out there is going to come up with a new Uber Eats or Grubhub or whatever, right? And they're going to start charging the consumer more to pay the driver more. And guess what's going to happen if they do that? If somebody does that, guess what's going to happen? Everybody with Uber and Grubhub that's working for them going to switch over to this new company, because $1 a trip will be more. $1.50 per trip will be a lot more. So if you're running 20 trips a night, you're gonna be winning. You're gonna be winning now. You're gonna be getting 30 to 40, depending on how much it is, 30 to 40, maybe $60 more per night, which is huge. Because now you're talking about $350, $400 a week. Now you're talking $1,600 extra a month. They gonna run Uber Eats out of business. They gonna run Grubhub out of business if they do that. Because the consumers don't care. The consumer will pay that extra $1.50, because they're being lazy. Like I said before, when COVID came, Americans got lazy. Americans got really lazy, and they don't want to get off their couch. They don't even want to come open the door. The majority of people that order food, they don't meet you at the door. They don't want the food hand to hand. They want you to leave the food at the door, so whenever they feel like coming to the door, maybe in their boxers or panties or in their bra, then they come to the door. You long gone by then. And I mean, they are lazy as hell. Like I said, they won't even type in that they want extra rent. They want you to get the extra rent. These people are crazy out here. But that's enough of me ranting and raving about delivering food. But I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. Mac, do you still hang out with people that you used to know who went SNY? I know 3 guys that went SNY, and to me, I mean, they homies. They still homies. You still my homie if you went SNY. It's like your homie get beat up, he get beat up. He's still your homie, right? I mean, I don't have no problem with them dudes, because Now we only talking about my friends, right? The guys that I know went SNY. They didn't go SNY because they snitched. They didn't go SNY because they were scared to go to the yard. They didn't go SNY because they got rolled up. One went SNY because the yard flipped, and the other two, they wanted to go home. Well, actually, one didn't know he was on the SNY. But the other, he wanted to go home. He wanted to go home, and I've heard of a lot of other people that done the same thing. But yeah, those particular dudes, man, I treat them just like any other homie. They can still fight. They still didn't tell on nobody. They did their life sentences. I mean, it ain't easy doing a life sentence in good standing, right? If you do 24, 25 years and then go SNY your last year or two, I mean, that's a hard call to make. Now, I don't want to make excuses for dudes that went SNY or dudes that got soft at the end as they got older or during their term. And like I say, shout out to my brother. He did all his time on the main line. People like Q's main line, you know. And then there's always the argument, like, it's going to the hole or the shoe, PC. Like, it's up for interpretation. What did you go there for? Is what it boils down to. So that's a part of court for the politicians. You know what I mean? Because this is how I look at it. This is my excuse. My excuse is there's a whole lot of fighters. There's a whole lot of shooters. There's a whole lot of killers that did a lot of talking, did a lot of telling. It's a whole lot of them type of dudes that went to prison and they did some telling. They got out way before they crimey or didn't do no time. You know, got off light somewhere else, right? And people still mess with them. That's why I was saying a while back when I was speaking on somebody on another channel talking about, you know, he none of his friends are SNY, none of his friends are rat. That's a lie, man. It's dudes from all hoods, Crip Blood or wherever, BGF, whatever, Mexican Mafia, Southside, whatever, 415, that done did some telling. And everybody still, man, there's dudes on these videos that did some telling. It's dudes with their own channel. It's dudes that's going platform to platform that did telling. Guess what? You guys watch them. You guys listen to them. And you guys want to know more about their story. You feel me? A lot of these dudes, man, can't go back to prison because they're going to get hit. A lot of these dudes are scared to catch another case because they know what they did last time. So I'm just saying, man, this is straight up facts, homie. People want to single out somebody that went to SNY, somebody that snitched, somebody that turned down the faith. But believe me, you looking and listening to a lot of them right here on YouTube. Real talk. And I see dudes, you know, I had a conversation with a couple of my homies recently. There's dudes on Instagram, right? From different hoods. Dudes on Instagram, they'll say, Southside, what up? They'll say, I stayed down since day one. I've been a real one since day one. Ever since I got put on, I've been this and that. And the conversation behind the scene is, how could he say that? Is he saying that to throw people off, or does he really think that? Like, did he forget this happened and that happened and this case over here? So I say that to say, sometimes people deceive you. Sometimes you fall into the trick bag of listening and believing what somebody says, and now you automatically think this person is solid. But you have no idea how rotten this person is, or how foul this person is. Or maybe this person made just one major mistake along the way, and he wishes to forget that fact, or he wishes to erase that off his resume. But other people ain't forgot, because people talk. There's people out there that's talking to each other when they see these type of things. So that's my response. That's my excuse. And I don't think nobody's barred from it. I see a lot of guys say, man, my nigga told I never talk to him again. My nigga called me and told me what he did. I couldn't be his friend no more. Nah. I mean, you may have a couple of instances like that, but that's not the rule of thumb. That ain't the truth. A lot of dudes be faking it, man, just to make themselves look good. That's why I said so much fake shit on social media, homie. It's a lot of fake stuff on social media, but it's only two ways you're gonna know. You have to really know that person, or you have to know people that know that person. That one of the reasons some of us stay in the shadows in here, because like Babyface Loxa touched on, we have a hard time accepting it. We all have a hard time accepting it. I agree. I think we all do. But some dudes just ain't in reality. Some dudes wish to not revisit the bad, the black eye, the purple eye. You know what I mean? But as me and my homie was talking, like with this social media, particularly the last couple of years, Crippin' is so watered down. Like dudes have watered this Crippin' down. They talk about this dude that was hard, is a buster. They talk about a dude that put in major work in prison, lost a fight when he was 12, 13, 14 years old. They talk about all this homosexuality, what was going on in these prisons, the bad part. Talk about all the guys talking, snitching, ratting, showing paperwork. Talking about this guy was a smoker. This guy didn't come to the hood. This guy ain't from the hood. He came by way of this, that, and the other. All the bad stuff that makes you wonder, why would anybody ever want to be a Crip? Why would anybody gangbang? I'm like, that's like a homosexual fraternity. But then when you sit back and you analyze some of the real dudes, some of the big names, the real names from way back in this Crip shit, and then you see and understand Crippin' wasn't always like this. That's why there were so many Crips. People wanted to be Crips because so many of these dudes looked cool and was so hard that you wanted to be a part of that. You wanted to be cool, get the women, or you wanted to have money, or you wanted to be a tough guy. So you want to be a Crip. And now we don't respect that. We disrespecting that. We disrespecting all the G's from, let's say, a Petey Wax era, all the way up to a Babyface, Snoop Dogg, Big Rick's era in my portion of the hood, but I mean for every hood throughout LA County and the rest of the nation. It's dudes that really put it down. It's dudes that walked the prison yards when it was hard to walk prison yards. It's dudes that was Crips that had to walk the yard with the Mexican Mafia, the Black Guerrilla family, then the vanguards and their own street enemies back in the day. And they had to choose. That's why so many caved into the pressure of black prison gangs. They had to get in where they fit in because they needed protection, or they wanted to keep the spotlight off themselves. They didn't want to get hit. They needed something to gravitate toward. They needed some type of crew to roll with. We gonna be Blue Note, CCO, Black Coat. We gonna be Vanguard, old Vanguard, new Vanguard. We gonna be 415. We gonna be Kumi. We gonna join the BGL. We gonna be Bloodline, UBN, CCO. We gonna be something. We gonna be something. I'm gonna get with that program, so I don't be left on the island by myself and have to fend for myself. It was some hard dudes though back then, man. Them dudes was really putting it down back then. Them dudes really had to go up against a bunch of killers, not of their own race or not of their own gang rivals, but of other races and prison organizations. And we water all that down and throw that away like it don't exist. Now you got a two-time rat talking about how hard he is. Now this dude is a general. He's a leader. He recruited. He put it down. Like, damn, man, like this is a bad look. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad look. We done messed it up, and then y'all wonder why sometimes I don't feel like being a part of this buffoonery, this clown mess. I don't care how hard you are. I don't care how good you can squabble. I don't care what yard you've been on, what you did, how many people you. I don't care about none of that. It comes down to your organic self. Can you be organic? Can you keep it real? Can you keep it real with yourself or me? You don't have to keep it real with both of us. Keep it real with yourself or keep it real with me. I respect you a whole lot more. Like, I'm not afraid to tell y'all I was scared in this situation or scared in that situation. Or I got a black eye here or a black eye there. Shit happens. I got a lot of stories I could tell that's braggadocious that I don't tell. Because it's really like you don't get a medal of honor for that. Whatever you did, however you stood tall, wherever you was at, how many ever people you went against, that's what you signed up for. You didn't sign up to have 10 dudes have your back. You signed up because you wanted to be a part of this. And when you walk through the shadow of death, or you walk through Death Valley, you got to show up, show out, or be smart to persecute. But don't act like every battle you won, every battle was easy for you, because then that makes your adversaries, your peers, and your enemies soft and weak. You can be the hardest nigga, right, from whatever project you want to be from. You so hard, like you tough, you bad. You won all your battles. You seen tough dudes lose battles. Like, all of that's cool, right? But homie, that makes your enemies weak. That's like LeBron James going to 54th Street Elementary School and dunking on people. That's not basketball. You taking advantage of dudes that ain't shit. So now that makes you look like you ain't shit. Enough of me ranting, man. I don't know how I got on this rant. All this started because somebody asked, did I have friends that were on an SNY yard? I can think of 3. One I met on YouTube, one I met in prison, and one I grew up with. And I don't look at them no different. They had to go through that. That's what they had to go through. As far as repercussions of their reputation, that's their problem. That's their issue. That ain't my issue. And I don't see one of them don't get no bad rap because he's solid. He can fight. He didn't do no telling on the murder. He did his time. He stayed down. He walked some of the toughest yards. Every individual, as well as every hood, then took loss. Some people don't want to admit that, though. You're right. And I try to drill that home. Homie. Because I just want people to know. See, because in my mind, I'm not saying this is a fact, but in my mind, when I'm asked an SNY question, or I'm asked about a known rat, that you're going off the YouTube or what you heard on YouTube or social media, and you feel like that individual should be ostracized. And now anybody that's real should not indulge or remain in a solid friendship with these type of individuals. But that's not how it works. Because when somebody's your friend, your real friend, like you've been to war with him, or you committed crimes with him, or you grew up with him from elementary school, you have a different love and respect for your friends. And you will let them get away with a black eye here or there. You won't ostracize them for every little thing they done or a strike. But if it's somebody that you looked at like you never liked him, I never liked him. I knew he was a buster when I met him. Oh yeah, you're going to go all the way in on him. You got the report card out and you checking fail every chance you get. You checking you. unsatisfactory, unsatisfactory, fail, unsatisfactory, fail, fail, fail. Like you looking for the FUU every chance you get. Them people gonna always get a bad mark in society when your friends do you like that. And there are some that deserve it. There's some that's not so deserving of it. It is what it is, though. Again, my stance is when people attack me, when I first came on YouTube and I got attacks from different people on YouTube that I don't know and never met, when I got attacked from different gangs from the East Side, Watts, Athens, Jungle, all these different places, nobody had my back. I can remember one instance, just one. I can remember one instance when Smack and Big U had my back 100%. Smack and Big U came to my defense. One situation. That's why I tell y'all, it's kevmacvideos. It's Kevmac live stream. It's going to be Kevmac. I'm going to use my name because when the shit hits the fan, it comes back at me. The shit don't blow on you, and you. The shit blows back on me. So if I got to ride that out, I'm going to ride it out all the way. I'm going to ride it all the way. This is Kevmac Video live streams with the help of the homie Smack. Everybody to help participate, help bring interviews, help introduce me to others, help teach me the game. Shout out to all of them. I ain't got nothing bad to say about none of them. Nothing. But when it comes to repercussions, I'm on an island on my own, man. It is what it is. You know what the homies tell me? Fuck them niggas. Oh, that nigga ain't know about, that nigga can't tell you nothing. Yeah, easier said than done. Can't tell me nothing. You right about that, but you also underestimating people in their violence and people in their upset stage. You feel me? Monique Hill, what up? I love when Monique check in. I know I'm doing something good when Monique check in. But man, I can have these conversations every day if y'all want to. You know how many people I'm going to piss off, though? You know how many people going to call me and start saying, why don't you name names? Put some names with that anger, that animosity, and that bitterness you got. People going to hit me up like, man, that ain't cool. But again, the only thing I really find that ain't cool is the way people watering down the cripping and the bleeding. This was really a tough process at once upon a time, especially during the war years in the streets of LA, the war years that I actually missed. And I was a part of a few, but the real war years in prison, them late 70s to the mid 80s, 86, 85, 84, 83, like, them dudes really represented and stood up for what they really believed in. And unfortunately, it's not as solid as it was back then. So people are exploiting our weaknesses. People are exploiting the weaknesses of Crips and Bloods and other organizations in prison too on social media. And I think it's cold. I think it's a bad look for the public. I think the public looks at us like weak, soft, homosexual, buster, scary, snitch, rat, no good, traitor, kill his own, KKK in black skin. Like, you give off the wrong impression. And I used to always tell you guys, man, anybody can have a channel, but not anybody know how to represent it right. Like, people are not gonna, people talk about going up against this organization, that organization, the AB, the Mexican Mafia, and whoever else in prison, right? Like, they this tough vanguard for blacks. Now, if you're a vanguard for blacks, you probably should be on social media speaking highly of blacks and giving blacks love and not painting a bad picture of us. That's my stance. My stance is to humanize one another, show some of the good, maybe some bad and some ugly, But gotta humanize us. Let us know we have families. We loved our parents and our parents loved us. Some of us got educations. Some of us gravitated toward hustling and getting away from the violence. Some of us managed to stay out of prison. Some of us did a lot of time in prison, but was upstanding, model class gangster. You know, so it's all about how you highlight the life and certain individuals without glorifying it, but definitely not making it look like everybody's weak and this is some dumb shit we all got involved in. We understand that it was teenagers that started this. We understand that it's a teenage mentality and a sickness, a mental sickness that has us get involved in gangbanging and really take it to heart and really expand our life. I'm talking about 20, 30, 40 years of this bullshit. So there's some loose screws in our head. We got caught up in a bad order, a bad situation. But you have to find the light. You have to go back to the roots of it all. What made you want to do this? What got you involved in this? It was not the homosexuality. It was not a homie killing a homie. It was not because a dude was going to tell on you. It's not because a dude was going to duck a fade or because he was a buster. It's because, like Monster Cody said, when you see cutes in them, you see the Magnificent Seven with the pretty big chop sideburns, you know, the Stacey Adams, the cool fly silk shirts, the afro, the cake cutters, the starched Levi's. And these dudes got such a cool stroll. And these dudes got muscle. They got the physique. These dudes got the ladies, the cars. Some of them got money. And these dudes are the riders. These are the dudes that looked up to and respected in your community. That's why we joined. That's what we want to be a part of. We want to be just like them dudes. Not the dudes that you guys tell stories about and highlight on your channel, on your Instagram, on your YouTube, on your Twitter. You feel me? Enough of that. If y'all ain't got nothing to talk about, I'm out of here, man. I got to deliver some food to those $1 and $2 tippers. The survival days was the best, man. Survival of the fittest. The trench coats. Man, for real. Real talk, though. Y'all know I'm telling the real, though. I hope nobody's offended. I wouldn't care if somebody want to debate me. Invite me to your studio or your channel and debate me on this shit. Otherwise, I don't really know what you can say that you disagree with that I said. Another thing we don't really talk about, stop hurting these dudes' feelings. I'm sorry, Jerome. I know you don't like that. And you know I really don't like that. But man, that question, that S&Y question did it for me, man. And S&Y question really hit me. Thanks for watching KevMacVideos. Thank you, Crystal. Good afternoon, Crystal. Shout out again to the Boston Celtics and the Celtic fan. Shout out to Jason Tatum. I want to see what you're going to do in a Game 7 versus the Miami Heat in 2023 Eastern Conference Finals. That's what I want to see. Because Chris Paul showed me what I said Chris Paul would show me. James Harden showed me what I said James Harden would show me. And Doc Rivers showed me what I said Doc Rivers would show me. The only guy exceeding my expectations so far would be Darvin Ham. I'm going to leave Jason Tatum off that list because, like I said, I didn't realize this game wasn't big enough for Jason Tatum. So, Jason Tatum, we'll see what you do in the Eastern Conference Finals. Darvin Ham, you coached 2 good games against the Golden State Warriors. I'm eager to see what you're going to do against the Denver Nuggets. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be looking out for my Steel Bill story. I don't know, my son and his girl is here, so I won't be working for a day or 2. I'm almost finished. So maybe Tuesday, I'm going to say by Wednesday, We have on the blue channel the bio, the profile on my homie, Steel Bill. Y'all take it easy, man. Much love for those that super chat. Good looking out, Marlon Guest, for the cash out. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the Golden Knights tonight. Game 6 on the road. I know KP Video News is a Golden Knight fan. Seattle Kraken been doing their thing. I love it. And the Boston Red Sox, St. Louis Cardinals baseball game. Y'all take it easy. Peace.